Hi, I'm Greg Levine, and this is the party line for January 6, 2012. It's the beginning of a new year, and of course there is a problem. We see this every year. It's something that needs to be addressed. Of course, I am talking about the abandoned trees. Yes, all over New York, which is where I live, on the streets this week you see abandoned Christmas trees, and it's sad. It's sad, really. Especially sad because New York City has Mulch Fest. And I tell you this just because I like to say Mulch Fest, a program where you can actually bring your trees to designated places and parks, and they'll chip them and turn them into mulch that they use all around the city for the rest of the year. And I think that's really cool, not only because mulching trees is a good use for them, but because it smells really nice. But what instead you see are a lot of people who just sort of dump their trees wherever. The trash picks them up, some of them. But what I've noticed this year, especially, is trees that are being placed at the feet of live trees in my neighborhood, especially. You know, like 2, 3 Christmas trees are being carried actively, obviously, and put right down under trees that are, you know, on the street, planted in the ground, alive, near pocket parks or you know, on the street. And I'm thinking, well, what are they thinking? What are the person who does this? Are they expecting the tree to sort of like instantly mulch itself? Is this some sort of attempt at biodegradation? You know, with the first snow, the tree will get absorbed in the ground, or maybe it's something like, you know, a little more humanitarian or arbortarian. You know, something like, oh hey, this looks like one of your relatives. Maybe they'll take care of you now. Or perhaps it's aspirational, like, look, see, if you just put your feet in the ground, look what you can become. I don't know. I can't figure it out. Mulch Fest, everybody. Okay, there's a real issue I need to talk to you about. I mean, not that, you know, Mulch Fest isn't real. Ohio. Ohio might also have a tree problem, but they've got this other problem. A certain nuclear power plant on the shores of Lake Erie called Davis-Besse. We've talked about Davis-Besse many times before, and as you know, at the beginning of December, the Nuclear Regulatory Commission gave its thumbs up for Davis-Besse to once again start up after its 3rd new reactor head was installed, after they discovered cracks in the process of installing that new reactor head. Cracks which can't really be explained, can't be said to have stopped, can't be said to not necessarily be dangerous, except if you take First Energy, the company that owns Davis-Besse's, word for it. But the NRC says, it's cool because we're going to let First Energy, like, sort it out for the next month, and in the meantime, you know, go ahead, turn the sucker on again. That's great because, of course, First Energy, incredibly trustworthy. No. First Energy is a company that's already paid like $33 million in government penalties and civil suits because of corrosion, considered the worst in American nuclear reactor history, that occurred there between 2002 and 2004 that they didn't really pay any attention to. This is First Energy that has had 3 series of cracking problems. This is First Energy that had a fire in the reactor while it was shut down to try and fix or deal with or consider these cracks and replace the latest reactor head. This is the Davis-Besse that is the home of 2 of the top 5 most dangerous nuclear incidents in the United States since 1979. Davis-Besse came online in 1978. So of course, we totally want to trust First Energy and the folks at Davis-Besse to get this all sorted out while the plant is operating, because you know, as of course Japan has showed us, when something goes wrong on a nuclear plant, it's not really a big deal, is it? That is all enough for, you know, for a weekend's consideration. But here's what's really exciting, which is that it's always nice to find a leverage point, because it's very easy to throw up our hands in despair. Goddamn, you know, NRC signing off, cozy with the industry, blah, blah, blah. Because of population decrease in Ohio, because Ohio is now controlled by Republicans because they've gerrymandered Dennis Kucinich's district, which was Ohio's 10th, I believe, out of existence. Kucinich had to make a decision on where he was going to run, if he was going to stay in Congress, and he chose to challenge Marcy Kaptur, 29-year House veteran Democrat, in the adjoining Ohio 9th, which has been redrawn. The Ohio 9th, by the way, includes the Davis-Besse nuclear power plant. And Dennis Kucinich has long been a critic of Davis-Besse and had called for a meeting, a public meeting, to explain what the hell was going on there, even before he knew his, I mean, he knew, but before he actually saw the map where his district was going to be put out of commission. He called for a meeting for the NRC and First Energy to explain what was going on there. And lo and behold, that meeting was this Thursday, and Dennis Kucinich was there, and so was Marcy Kaptur. And what is, I guess you could say, great, is that you got to see where both Representative Kucinich and Representative Kaptur come down on the issue of Davis-Besse and on the broader issue of, is the NRC a trustworthy agency when it comes to regulating the safety of America's nuclear facilities? I write about this at some length, so I urge you to read the post. But let's sum it up by saying Dennis Kucinich, not really in the mood to trust First Energy or the NRC just yet. Marcy Kaptur, blah, 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 industry, blah, 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 NRC, blah, blah, blah. It's mealy mouth, but in the guise of standing for, I don't know, affordable energy, future, and jobs, has basically decided that she's going to make her bed with the NRC and First Energy in it. So, congratulations, Ohio. It's unfortunate, long-serving Democrats going against each other, but you have a real choice. And it's a choice where you can decide that you're happy with the way the NRC is regulating the nuclear industry in the United States, or you're not. And if you're happy and you know it, Marcy Kaptur. If you're not, looks like Dennis Kucinich. And that's the party line.